Hi, everyone. Welcome to RNBS 3400. This is one of your capstone courses. My name is Stephen Stewart. I am very happy to be facilitating your course for the next 8 weeks. Um, I am looking at the roster and I see that I have encountered exactly half of you in previous courses, so that makes me happy. It's nice to see some familiar faces. And for those who have not been part of my courses, I welcome you, and please collaborate with those who have experienced me. They will give you the full rundown without me being present, so you can talk freely. But I think I'm pretty easy to get along with, and I certainly do love my job. A little bit about myself. My specialty as a nurse for 20 years has been the ER and critical care, although I've done everything in nursing. I currently do house supervision very part-time at a nursing home with over 500 beds, a long-term care facility, and short-term rehab. I just came off of a 6-month stint as the manager of that rehab floor. It was the hardest job that I've ever done, and certainly the busiest. I did not work 1 week less than 60 hours. So I'm happy to be officially retired and working various part-time jobs here and there. My teaching style is very engaging and interactive. I have lots of time on my hands, so that means that I'm available for you. That means that you cannot hesitate to reach out to me with your questions. This course tends to be one of the more demanding courses of your roster at in this program. It's also a very, very important course for many reasons that I'll talk about in a minute. But I just want you all to know that I want your success. Um, I want you to leave this course feeling enriched and a little bit more like a scholar than when you walked into this course. I guarantee that'll happen. Um, Office hours. I have not set up official office hours. I am happy to do so. If you would like regular office hours in the afternoon or evenings, please shoot me an email. Let me know what day is best for you. That being said, I'm always available to schedule a Zoom meeting. Some of you in this current course have had Zoom meetings with me, so please know that I'm absolutely willing to do that. We can just arrange for a day and a time. As it says on the course page, the best way, the most expeditious way to get in touch with me is via text message. My phone number is on the course page and in the syllabus. Please do not text me before 0500. Please do not text me after, I think I put 8 p.m. because I'll probably be zonked on the couch. Let's see. Let's talk a little bit about the course. Again, this is one of the more involved courses in your curriculum for the bachelor's degree. The reason is you are taking your capstone idea and you are actually creating an official research question and building evidence around why you want to look at that, what literature is out there, what literature is not out there, very important, and how do we put this literature into a big, beautiful paper and present it to a scholarly audience with credibility, poise, and beauty, if you will. So that's what you're going to be doing in this course. It is an extremely important course for your capstone. Traditionally, projects like this, even dissertations, the most involved piece of these projects is the literature review. So you'll be doing a lot of reading and a fair amount of writing for this course as well. A lot of the terminology and the concepts in this course can be very confusing. I remember I've been writing an APA and reading studies for about 40 years now. And so I've developed some skill at doing that. But I do vividly recall my first experiences with reading and critiquing research, and it is a learning process. So you have to engage in the process. You have to make your mistakes. You have to ask your questions. The most important part, please ask your questions. And eventually it all comes together. And sometimes you'll actually get that nice light bulb experience. This course is designed for you to have a basic understanding of the research process and be able to use the literature that you are looking at in your daily personal nursing practice. And that's a big takeaway for me as a teacher. I want for you to be able to take these studies and say, oh, well, we're doing it. We're not doing it according to the evidence. Let's do it this way and see what happens. Hopefully your facility or wherever you're working, wherever you're doing your project will be very amenable to that idea. Housekeeping. You do have a clinical experience in this course. It is in week 7. I always get many, many questions. Please read in the syllabus about the clinical experience. It needs to be geared towards evidence-based practice activities. Your preceptor form for week 1 only needs to be completed if you have a new preceptor from the one you have in 3300, RNBS 3300. Please do not hand me the form if you're keeping your same preceptor, which hopefully every one of you will be able to keep your same preceptor. Discussions. So every week in this course does not have a discussion. The weeks that do have discussions, I would like initial posts done by Thursday at midnight and responses due by Sunday. Please view the rubric for discussions. I do require 2 supportive pieces of literature in your initial posts. And in your responses, which really should be substantive, please do not, oh, that was such a great post, thank you. And that's a compliment. That's not a response to appear in a scholarly way. You can ask a probing question. You can present a differing opinion with support. You can get creative with your responses, but please make sure that they have some hair. All assignments in this course are due by Sunday at midnight. I have been very careful to mark the deadlines in Moodle. I've also been careful to open many of the activities on the Monday of that week. Some people do like to work ahead. I think that's great, but for this course, the material is so dense that you really need to involve yourself in the process of this course. So most assignments open up the Monday of that week, and then they're due by the Sunday before the next week starts, Sunday at midnight. Time management is extremely important for this course. This material is not something that you can skim or skip over. Some of it is. Some of the reading is. I'll make sure that you all know the important parts of the reading assignments, because there's plenty of reading in the book, which you must do. Very important to do that reading. But for much of this material, you really have to not skim it, but you really have to digest the material. It needs to become a working part of your knowledge base. Rubrics. Please use the rubrics. They can't be more straightforward or simple. If you utilize the rubrics, that's what I grade from. I don't grade from, oh, that looks really nice. No, I grade from posts a substantive, blah, blah, blah. And I'll put scores sometimes, especially if there's a paper that stands vast room for improvement, I'll make sure that the rubric is filled out and I will send that rubric along with the feedback on the assignment. So please utilize the rubrics. Also, templates. In the first part of the course, you've all looked at the course now. I see that in Moodle. In that first part of the course, you have templates. All you have to do is erase the words that you don't want and plug your words in. That's what a template is for. Your final paper is a substantial part of your final capstone that's going to happen. I believe you all graduate in March. Your final paper is due at the end of week 8. Start your paper now. Go to the template and you can just do the title page if you want, but start that paper now because that is your end. That's the end of the tunnel. It's not too early to start that paper. Your literature review. So I will be posting a couple examples of really good literature reviews. You don't need for me to do that actually, because in the articles that you will be reading, that you're going to be finding regarding your projects, there is usually a section in articles called Review of the Literature. And so that's exactly how you're going to structure your literature review. It's not a dissertation, but it's certainly not an essay. It's way more than that. Your lit review and your final paper are a full 55% of your grade. So those are some real heavy focus areas for you. I just want to touch briefly on the use of artificial intelligence. I love AI. I subscribe to Claude. Claude is very good to me. I'm a student myself. I do not use Claude to generate papers for me. I can use Claude to look at an outline. I can use Claude to look at some research, but generative AI in this course is strictly prohibited for assignments. You can use it to do research, and then you can incorporate that research into your writing. But using generative AI to do papers is considered plagiarism and academic dishonesty. So let's not go down that path. Quotes, using quotes in your papers. I do find in a bachelor's program that many students use quotes from the literature that they read. I am not allowing the use of quotes in this course. I'm not allowing the use of quotes in this course. And here's why. Number one, every one of you is very intelligent. I know the writing of half of you, and you can beautifully, on your own, paraphrase whatever you're reading in those papers. If you are quoting scripture, if you are quoting Carl Rogers, who wrote the book on innovation and disseminating new knowledge, that's fine, but it has to be a quote from that author. But as far as quotes from the mission statement, do not quote a mission statement. You're going to paraphrase that mission statement, and then you're going to tell me where you got that information. Very, very important. I'm very serious about APA formatting in this course and about style. If you do not have the APA manual, this is what it looks like. This is the APA manual. Everybody should have this manual. I have the spiral bound because I bought the hardbound copy, and I had to buy a new one because I opened it so much that I broke the binder. That is where everything you need to know about APA formatting is: how to do an in-text citation, how to do references, how to do your page numbers, what your first page should look like, what your last page should look like, etc. Please again, do not hesitate to contact me with your questions about APA. I tend to provide pretty extensive feedback on your documents. Um, as sometimes very focused on APA. If it's too detaily, I won't take points off for that, but I'll certainly bring it to your attention that this is the way that it's done in APA. And sometimes I'll even give you the page number to find it on. Many times, actually. All right, I just want to look at the syllabus real quick. Share my screen. This is your syllabus. You must read the syllabus. This is your contract. RNBS 3400, Fall A. These are the important things that I would like you to know about this course. This is a foundational overview of evidence-based practice and, most importantly, the critical appraisal of literature. You're going to learn how to tear apart an article, a journal article, and say, this is a good article, this is a bad article, oh yes, I want to use this, etc. You will be able to conduct evaluations of literature related to improving your patient's care. And these are the things that I desire for you to carry into your everyday nursing practice. I want you to go to work thinking, oh, we should try this because this article said blah, 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 and the evidence showed blah, blah, blah. We talked about your 8-hour clinical experience, and then your course culminates with a review of the literature to support your project as a foundation for your capstone project. So your final paper becomes part of your capstone paper. You plug it right in. I'll let you read all of this. Topical outline, your textbook. There are activities embedded in the course that do test your capacity to recall the weekly readings. So please do the weekly readings. Again, I will point out the most important pieces that you should focus on for those weekly readings. But please do get this textbook and do those readings. The articles and the videos, I hate to say it, but they're all important. You really need to budget your time so that you can focus on getting through all of these. Again, 55% of your grade, I highlighted that, etc. This on page 5 talks about your clinical hours. I'm not going to read that to you. I think that you can read that for yourself. And then throughout this document, you have the outline for each week of the course, the objectives, and the assignments. And there you have that. Please know that you are responsible for everything in this recording, as well as the contents of the syllabus. I leave you with these 2 final points. Please utilize the rubrics. Point number 1. Point number 2, please utilize the templates. I'm not sure why students have such a difficult time sometimes, but it's almost like we're spoon feeding you these outlines. So this material is difficult enough. You don't want to create more work for yourself. I am here for you. Those of you who have experienced me know that. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me via text message. I am happy to Zoom. I'm happy to answer your questions. Have a good night.